Hi everybody, TJ Mac Vintage Cards here, and today I want to start off this video by recognizing Picker Jim, who sent me a really nice Christmas card. And here it says Baseball Lovers Christmas on it, and it's 12 days of Christmas. And then on the 8th day there you can see 8 cards of trading, which I think is pretty cool. And then on the inside of the card he wrote me a nice note. It says, "Hi Terry, I'm glad we met on YouTube. You have an awesome channel. Your videos are very well thought out and informative. I also appreciate the support you show my channel and many others in the community. I hope you and your family have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, Jim." So Jim, I really appreciate that, and I'm really glad that we were able to connect this past year. I thoroughly enjoy your channel and just the content you provide with, be it Hall of Fame rookies or your Red Sox pickups. I know you do some basketball as well. I just like that your videos are always very genuine, well thought out, and you just really have a wonderful collection that I just enjoy the fact that you share that with all of us. And the other thing is that you do take the time to comment on a lot of videos as well. I know when I look at a video, I usually go down into the comments and you're already hit it with your comments. So you're just a really engaged member of the community, and I'm grateful for that. So here, he also had sent me in a large envelope this sporting news from February 16th, 1955. And I just love this large cartoon that's on the front where you have these two guys that are peeking through the fence, and they're sitting on these old contraptions that can move the fence back and forth. And you can see here in the picture that one is turned towards the other, and he's saying, "Back, back, move it back. Kluzinski's coming to bat. Over." And then the other guy is turned towards him going, "No, no, leave it alone. It's only that banjo hitter McMullen. Over and out." And it just kind of talks about the rise of the power hitters, especially in that discussion that I'm sure went on at those times about, where do we place the fences in the park. And Ted Kluzinski, who's pictured here in the 1953 Bowman color card, he's really a good subject to have here for that cartoon because the 1954 season had ended and the 55 season's getting ready to start. And in 54, Kluzinski led the majors with 47 home runs and 141 RBIs. And he finished second in the National League MVP voting to Willie Mays. So he really was one of the big power hitters of that time, and he's just a great subject to have in this cartoon. And I look forward to thumbing through the sporting news now that I showed it on the video, because from my understanding and researching it a little, there's a spring training preview, and then there's also an article on Mickey Mantle in the byline. So looking forward to that. Thanks so much, Jim. Now I also want to take a moment to recognize Alex with Bowman53. So I thought it'd be appropriate to show this Ted Kluzinski from my small group of Bowman53 color cards that I have, and this is one of my favorites of his. And I just thought I would share this as I talk a little bit about Alex. He had just recently put a video out where we collaborated on his channel, where we're showing cards that connect with one another and also cards that we connect with. And he had set this up with me. We did about an hour discussion going over our cards, and I had sent him some card videos from my collection, and he had done the same with his incredible collection, really. He's got really a lot of beautiful, thoughtful cards in his collection that he carefully puts together to build really what I think is a great collection. And he is somebody that's really impeccable when it comes to putting his videos together. His really seeking of perfection when he puts his videos together is something that really I want to strive for myself, and I fall far short because he just has incredible talents and skills, and his videos are great. So please take a moment to watch that video. It's about 11 minutes long, and I think you'll enjoy it, and you can see his talents at work. So just want to recognize Alex, and I'll put that link to the video down below. Thanks so much. So today I'm going to show off a couple more magazines from my magazine collection with a recent card that I've acquired with another card that I've had in my collection for a little while. So you can see here the 1971 Maury Wills, which is a recent addition. He's a player I've been wanting to get for a little while. He doesn't have a lot of playing days cards in the Dodgers. He has a 63 Fleer rookie, 70, 71, and 72 tops on the Dodgers. His other cards that he has are with other teams. So Maury Wills, to me, he's somebody I really started learning more about looking at the magazine collection I have. He was just on so many magazine covers in the 1960s. And recently he was brought up in the Golden Age Committee, I believe, for Hall of Fame consideration. And he was really a guy that was synonymous with the running game in the baseball in the 1960s. He led the league in steals from 1960 to 1965. He made 7 All-Star appearances, but it was really just 5 seasons that he played in All-Star, made the All-Star team, because some of the years they played 2 games in the early 60s. And he also won 3 World Series with the Dodgers. And Maury really brought in a stolen base renaissance when he played his first full season in 1960. And by then he was already 27 years old, so he got a late start. And in 1962 is really when he busted out in a big way, when he won the MVP, and he broke Ty Cobb's 1915 stolen base record of 96 by swiping an incredible 104 bases that year. And he was really an exciting player for his time. A lot of the teams wanted to replicate what the Dodgers were doing with the running game and wanted a leadoff hitter like Maury Wills. Now, I really did appreciate that he got the Hall of Fame consideration because it brought him into the limelight more. But I don't really think he is a Hall of Famer just because of the fact that even though he was a great running player and a good defensive player, I know he won some gold gloves, he really didn't have the walks and on-base percentage and even in some ways the longevity because he started so late to be really worthy of Hall of Fame induction. But I do think he deserved that consideration, which I thought was nice because it brought his name back into the limelight. So there's Maury Wills, and then you can see next to him is the 66 top Sandy Koufax, and there's a really nice cover there from 1966, and it's a Major League Baseball magazine, and you can see on there Sandy Koufax and Maury Wills together. So those are just 2 great magazine covers that I wanted to share. I also want to take a closer view of these 2 cards so you can see them. I love the 71 top set, and this is the one I wanted because you can see him there in his Dodger blue. And then the Koufax is from 66 tops. This is his last playing days cards. Just really 2 nice cards that present well and are a nice fit for my collection. Here are 2 more recent pickups that I'm really thrilled to have added to my collection. And these are 2 1976 tops cards of Bert Jones and Lydell Mitchell. I've really been getting more and more into the history of football, and I'm just trying to add some of these great players from the 70s and other decades as well. But this is the October 1976 Sport Magazine, and Bert Jones, he was really one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL during that time, and also with the Colts. Now, the Colts have had some of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history with Manning and Unitas. They also had another very good one, of course, with Andrew Luck. But this man right here, Bert Jones, may have been the most talented of all of them. He first started 5 games for the Colts the year after Johnny Unitas left in 1973. And in 73 and 74, he was 2-11 as a starter before taking the Colts to the next level in the 1975 season. And then from 75 to 77, he was 35-11 as a starter, and that's when he really broke out, and he took the Colts to 3 straight playoff appearances. Now, unfortunately, he lost to the Steelers twice and the Raiders once, and never advanced any further than the divisional round. But his 1976 season, which is the card that's depicted here, is probably one of the greatest of all time when you consider the era that he played in. He led the league with 3,104 passing yards that year, which was far and away the best. He had 24 touchdowns and a 9.3 yards per attempt. He won the 1976 MVP as well as the Offensive Player of the Year. Now, Bill Belichick was on the Colts coaching staff back then, and he said that he has never seen an arm as good as Bert Jones. The guy had a laser, he would say. He was fearless. He was just a great athlete. He was just so tough, and he would take a lot of hits. And Bert was also very smart to where he would also call his own plays. He said Bert Jones was just special. And that's one of the things about when you look at sports is these what could have been stories. I mean, he had as much talent as any quarterback that played in the NFL. It's unfortunate he just played at a time where quarterbacks were expected not to run out of bounds or slide. They took the hits, and he was really one of the tough guys. And he also, they didn't have the surgical procedures where they could prepare players that would have those, arm injuries or knee injuries like they can today. But as a talented player, he's one of the best. And I'm just really glad that I can add him to my collection, and he's one that I'm going to display as well. And then right next to him is one of those other great players from that team, and this is 1976 Lydell Mitchell. He was the first 1,000-yard running back in Colts history. And they also had Lenny Moore and Alan Amici and some good running backs, and he was the first to go over 1,000 yards. And he was really a versatile back. He had 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons from 75 to 77 rushing, but he also led the league in receptions twice, with 72 in 1974 and 71 in 1977. He had at least 500 yards receiving 5 times, and this was in a league that was known for running in the 1970s. It's really the dead ball era of football where the running games just reigned supreme. So he was one of those early versatile backs. And he was also a 3-time Pro Bowler. So just really, again, excited to add him to my collection as well. Here's a closer-up shot of the Bert Jones and Lydell Mitchell. Really 2 beautiful examples. I've been trying to get a Bert Jones from 76 for a little while because I just think the look of this card with the hairstyle just kind of screams 70s there. And really, in the 76 season, he was really just such a big name in football that year with the Colts, becoming one of those upper echelon teams. They just, like I said, couldn't get over the top against the Steelers and the Raiders. But just a nice slice of history that I really want to have represented in my collection. And then you got the Lydell Mitchell here next to him as well. I just think those 2 cards complement one another. So that's all for today. Everybody have a great day, and I'll talk to you again soon.